Trickster, the endlessly moving, bouncy frog of the arena. How are you even supposed to hit this guy half the time? Trickster is certainly an odd case of a style, but it's pretty notorious for its surprising viability at higher ranks. It's a bit difficult to actually class this style into a specific boxing category, at least in my opinion. Its specific mechanic revolves around intense and constant movement, so we'll place it in a kind of mix of an outboxer and a close-up weaver or bobber. As soon as you start using Trickster, you'll notice something almost instantly. Its dashes are certainly not normal. It's the only style that has a unique sound play for its dashes, and its heavy swing plays a similar sound but much deeper in tone. That's not the important part though. Trickster can dash so fast it's actually able to dash cancel. While mentioned in the style's description, dash canceling isn't something actually gone too in depth by the game. While it sounds complicated, it's really not. Dash canceling simply means you're able to move so quickly that you can stack your dash iframes, or invincibility frames, on top of one another to stay invincible for a longer period and continue moving. While the dash itself doesn't cover much distance, being able to do this is incredibly strong if put to proper use. Few other styles can dash cancel like this. Kronos and Freedom can pull it off too, but even they aren't able to do it as quickly as Trickster is. So, what does this mean? Well, as you'd expect, if you have a good enough reaction time, you can be incredibly quick with your dashes to the point of never being hit. Keeping that kind of speed going will endlessly segue you into perfect dodges and surprise attacks, so keep your pressure up once you've got a rhythm going. Don't take pressure the wrong way though. Your light swings are very easy to see coming. Your character literally tilts their entire body left or right when throwing the swing, and they aren't that fast either. Even at lower ranks, Trickster can be dodged and weaved around just as easily as it can to others. Its heavy attack, the notorious Frog Punch, is the only heavy that uses both hands to attack. It looks weird, so it's easy to see coming and can be dodged just as easily as your normal swings. In my experience with playing Trickster, I was always under the impression it could be perfect dodged on both sides. After some usage though, I found that I wasn't able to perfect dodge Trickster's heavy by dodging right. Only dodging left allowed me to do so. I could have just been botching the dodge, but I'm 99% sure I had the timing down. If someone's had a different experience, let me know in the comments, but it seems like Trickster's heavy is only PDable from one side. Anyway, your swings are slow, so keeping that normal kind of punch and countering pressure going isn't your strong suit. However, all of those swings do have a much higher range than normal, which makes it easier for Trickster to whiff punish and counter from farther away, even though you have no counter bonus. While this is a great tool, only use it when you think you're guaranteed that punish. Too many attempts at long range hits will just let you get countered yourself. With all of that being said, the best possible strategy with Trickster is to use swinging first as your primary mix-up tool. If you can keep your dodging consistent and quick, lashing out after a speedy dodge or two will usually produce good results. When your hits do land, they're surprisingly strong and can whittle most guards down to critical levels. Your chip damage is also solid, if not better than normal, which can give you better chances at a snowball effect later. On top of that, your silly little dashes consume less stamina per use than a normal dodge in other styles, so you can use multiple dashes before starting a string without losing too much of your strength. Be careful about spamming your dashes anyway though. If you use too many, you're going to find that you barely have enough stamina for a swing or two by the time you hit somebody for real. Because of its ability to dash cancel, Trickster is quite good at dodging feints. Moving left and right quickly will allow you to weave through an attempted feint and strike back before they have a chance to escape. This works especially well on styles like Ghost or Hitman because both of their attacks always come from the same hands. If you're lucky, you might even be able to get a perfect dodge out of that weaving if you manage to dodge in the right direction. Part skill, part luck, I guess. As a small added bonus, your ultimate does more damage than average. A 55% damage attack that can knock people down when their health is just in front of the stamina bar, if that makes sense. It's a small bit of damage in the grand scheme, but it can mean a lot if you're fighting to win and not just play. From more of an overall standpoint, overwhelming your opponent with your movement is the best way to crack them to pieces. Prioritize dodging out of the way over actually attacking. While this sounds counterintuitive, getting perfect dodges and successfully escaping feints are your best possible way to start getting damage. Don't try to bait the entire time though, that kind of gets annoying for both sides. Flashing out unexpectedly can help you keep the lead if you've already lowered most of their block health. Try to flow between these two states if you can. Dodge and weave, then suddenly switch to being fully on the attack. Once you get dodged, or if your own dodge is red, that's when you should switch to the other line of strategy. This is, as usual, all up to user interpretation, and Trickster is all around a lot stronger than it looks at first glance. It isn't exactly godlike, as it has a weaker block than normal and is pretty vulnerable to being caught in its dashes if they're used wrong. You're much more likely to see it at higher levels of play, like Diamond or Ruby ranks, as people at that rank will generally understand Trickster's advantages way more than someone at the Gold or Silver rank. People at lower ranks focus more on swinging than movement, no offense, while Trickster is way more in the opposite direction. Generally speaking, the style deviates way more than average, but it's entirely capable of doing just as much as anything else, if not more, because of that. At the end of the day, Trickster is an endlessly moving style with strong swings and the best dashes in the game, with little contest. Everything you do revolves around your reaction time and ability to weave through punches and feints. Since the swings themselves are slow and very easy to see, you'll generally have a tough time getting ahead in a game unless you can successfully bait and force your opponents to whiff. Your block doesn't allow for much failure, so keeping up with your own level of speed is crucial to ensure you don't fall behind. Focus on shifting between offensive and defensive very quickly while not staying still for long, and Trickster will pull through for you. With this bouncy guide, now complete by me, Dave Pyramid, I'm sure you'll be carrying the whole circus on your back someday. I'll catch you on the flip side, and I hope you learned something. Peace!
Let me break it down for you, Mark.